Hello and welcome back to Thai Horror Story, the podcast that takes you deep into the myths and ghostly legends rooted in Thai and Buddhist belief systems. Today, we're tackling one of the most terrifying yet utterly pitiful figures in Buddhist cosmology, the Preta, better known in the West as the Hungry Ghost. Have you ever seen the iconic images? A body tall as a palm tree, starved and skeletal, with a gigantic bloated belly, but a neck as thin as a thread, and a mouth the size of a needle's eye. The Preta is not just a ghost, it is a walking consequence, a chilling lesson in the true cost of greed and miserliness in a past life. 1. Defining the Preta, beyond the ghost. The Sanskrit root, the word Preta, comes from Sanskrit, meaning departed or gone forth. But in Buddhism, it refers to a specific type of being trapped in one of the four woeful states, apaya bhumi, a lower realm of existence where suffering is intense, serving as a consequence before eventual rebirth. The karmic definition: the Preta is the physical manifestation of excessive greed, lobha, and extreme stinginess practiced when the being was human. Their eternal hunger is merely a reflection of the insatiable desire they carried in life. A fate worse than death. Unlike many ghosts that haunt our world, Pretas are bound to the Preta realm, tormented by their own karma. Their suffering is not just physical starvation, but the eternal, maddening inability to satisfy a desire that never lessens. Act 2. The Anatomy of Suffering. The Preta's existence. 1. The physical symbolism of torment. The Preta's grotesque appearance is a direct metaphor for their psychological state. The palm tree height, their enormous stature, represents the arrogance and self-importance they held in life, looking down on others. The bloated belly and needle mouth. This is the most profound symbol. Their huge stomach signifies their vast and endless appetite, greed. Yet their tiny mouth and constricted throat mean they can never swallow enough to fill it. Every attempted bite or sip is agony, often causing the throat to tear. Water and fire. Even if a Preta manages to find water, by the power of their negative karma, the water will often turn into pus, blood, or boiling fire the moment it touches their lips. They are constantly scorched by the very elements meant to provide relief. 2. The 12 Families of Preta, Variations of Sin. Buddhist texts categorize Pretas into different families based on their specific crimes. This shows that there is a unique punishment for every flavor of greed. Sūcimukha Preta, needle mouth Preta, the most common, suffering from the classic small mouth/large belly affliction, the result of extreme stinginess and denying food or help to those in need. Sattangha Preta, Sharp-Claw Preta. These Pretas have long, razor-sharp claws. They are cursed to tear at their own flesh and consume their own blood and pus for sustenance. Their crime? Exploiting the poor, extorting others, or physically abusing their parents, benefactors. Kūṇapa-sāda Preta, corpse-eating Preta. They are forced to consume decaying corpses and feces. Their crime was giving offerings that were unclean or undesirable to holy persons, or being extremely avaricious and neglecting charity. Vemānika Preta, dual-state Preta. These are the few who have a sliver of good karma. They suffer as Pretas during the day, but get to live like minor deities in celestial mansions at night. They were people who practiced both great charity and serious vice. Think about that. A single lifetime of excessive attachment results in an eternity of self-cannibalization or being burned by water. It's a terrifyingly poetic system of justice. Act 3. The Thai Legend. The Preta in Cultural Practice. 1. The Preta as a moral instrument. In Thailand and Southeast Asia, the Preta has an incredibly powerful moral function. Unlike Western concepts of hell, the Preta is often visible or heard during specific ceremonies, serving as a visceral warning. The ultimate filial piety warning. The most deeply ingrained cultural belief is that abusing, neglecting, or physically harming one's parents or elders guarantees rebirth as a Preta, specifically the sharp-clawed kind, forever cursed to harm oneself. This belief acts as a powerful deterrent against disrespecting one's bupakari, benefactors, or parents. The Temple Wall Giant. The most famous Thai legend centers around the Preta of Wat Suthat, the Suthat Temple Preta. The stories tell of a Preta so tall that when it came to the temple seeking merit, only its head and upper torso could be seen poking over the high temple wall. Its cries for Suanbun, shared merit, were so loud and heartbreaking that people flocked to the temple just to hear the agonizing lesson in karma. This legend cemented the Preta's image in the Thai psyche. 2. The Ritual of Release. Merit-making. Karn Tam Bun. For the Thai people, the Preta is directly linked to the traditions of the afterlife. The only hope, Patidana. The only true escape for many Pretas is Patidana, the transference and sharing of merit. This occurs when living relatives perform a good deed, like donating, meditating, or giving alms, and formally dedicate the merit to the deceased spirit. The offering rituals. This is why ceremonies are crucial. During major Buddhist festivals or funerals, people pour water and dedicate the merit, often saying phrases like Idam me Nyatinam Hotu, Sukita Hontu, Nyatayo. May this merit reach my relatives. May my relatives be happy. It is an active attempt to alleviate the eternal hunger and suffering of those bound by their own past greed. Act 4. A case study. The Maha Preta, the arrogant ascetic. 1. The sin of the ascetic. Let's create a case study that shows how even spiritual discipline cannot overcome deep-seated greed. Meet Maha, a man who had practiced diligently as a monk and even attained minor psychic powers, Riddhi, yet in his heart he remained consumed by avarice and envy. The hypocrisy. Maha became celebrated in his village, but secretly he hoarded the finest offerings and felt immense stinginess regarding the monastery's wealth. He feared losing his status and material comforts more than violating his vows. The act of envy. One day, a genuinely pure and revered visiting monk arrived. Maha was consumed by jealousy, fearing the loss of offerings. Simulated dialogue. Maha's inner voice. Maha, whispering, tight with rage, all the wealth must be mine. That pure monk is stealing my devotion. I must not share. I will use my power to push him away, to make him fail. Let the sin be on his soul, not mine. The punishment's definition. By using sacred power, rid thee, for a greedy, malicious, and unholy purpose, Maha committed a severe offense. When he died, his good merit from his practice gave him the handsome form of a Mahidika Preta, mighty Preta. But his bad karma, greed, envy, bound him to the cycle of eternal hunger. 2. The ironic torment of the mighty Preta. The Maha Preta's suffering is cruel because it is witnessed. Public humiliation. He possesses the power to fly through the air, but he is forced to do so while constantly vomiting and consuming his own filth due to his insatiable hunger. He has great power, but is eternally engaged in a humiliating, repugnant act of feeding. The false hope. He can use his small powers to conjure images of lavish food, only for the food to turn into flaming coals or rotting flesh the moment he attempts to ingest it. The illusion of relief is always snatched away by his own past actions. The eternal witness. Unlike other Pretas who suffer in darkness, the Maha Preta suffers in the open, seen by minor deities and humans with psychic sight. A final punishment for his hypocrisy and pride when he was a monk. Conclusion. The philosophical weight of the Preta. 1. The Preta as a mirror. The Preta is not a monster to be feared, but a mirror to be heeded. Every single trait of the Preta is a reflection of human vice. The unquenched desire. The Preta's hunger is a perfect metaphor for modern consumerism and materialism. The belief that the next purchase, the next promotion, or the next act of acquisition will finally bring satisfaction. The Preta teaches us that if we live driven by endless desire, we are already living in the Preta realm. The internal fire. The flames that burn the Preta's throat are the flames of anger and envy that burn the human spirit. The suffering is self-inflicted, the consequence of an uncontrolled mind. 2. The final lesson in generosity. The legend of the Preta reinforces one of Buddhism's core virtues: generosity, dana. The only way to avoid this horrifying fate is to actively practice non-attachment, charity, and compassion, to share our wealth, our time, and our resources freely. The Preta's tall, skeletal shadow reminds us that true poverty isn't found in a lack of wealth, but in a lack of spirit. Every time we make an offering, every time we choose to share instead of hoard, we are not just helping a ghost, we are actively closing the door on our own potential rebirth into a world of eternal, agonizing hunger. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the legend of the Preta. Don't forget to subscribe to Thai Horror Story for more deep dives into the chilling truths of Asian folklore. Until next time, be generous and mind your karma.